Breaking news. Iran has joined the war. Hundreds of drones and ballistic missiles were fired toward Israel with enough explosive power to wipe out entire cities from the surface of the planet. The US and UK had to get involved. They shot down hundreds of Iran's projectiles. It was a successful interception mission. But there was a problem. The interceptions are too costly. The US and UK were forced to intercept $1,000 drones with 5,000% more expensive missiles. In a long enough time frame, Iran could overpower the US and UK due to these disproportionate defense-to-attack costs. There is a need for something better. Interestingly, the US and UK already have this something better, according to the latest news. The latest news. In March last month, the UK showed off the progress it had made with its laser weapon in the works. In a newly released video, this weapon, called DragonFire, was reported to have successfully struck an aerial target during a test in Scotland. In more detail, a bright laser beam from the weapon can be seen striking a target in the night sky of the remote Hebrides archipelago. A ball of light erupted as it struck its target, proving the weapon's effectiveness in causing damage to targets. It also proved its precision abilities. According to the UK Ministry of Defence, the DragonFire has proved capable of precisely hitting a coin from over half a mile away. Thousands of miles away in the United States, an American laser weapon is also making strides. The U.S. Army in January deployed laser weapons for the first time to a war zone. A platoon of 3 Directed Energy Maneuver Short-Range Air Defense, or DEM SHORAD armored vehicles were deployed to help defend bases in the Middle East against constant drone, rocket, and mortar attacks from various Iran-backed militias. Prior to the deployment of these vehicles, the Army's short-range air defense units were split into 2 classes only. 1. The Indirect Fire Protection Capability battalions that protect static military bases and semi-permanent command posts using automated land-based phalanx Gatling cannons and Stinger missiles. And 2 is the Divisional M-SHORAD battalions that defend frontline forces on the move, using Avenger, Humvee, and Stryker vehicles also armed with Stingers. Stinger missiles have been a crucial component of the Army's air defense for the longest, since 1981, well over 4 decades. And while that comes with seasoned experience, it also means the missile is getting outdated and hurtling towards its retirement. In fact, it is already out of production. Its effectiveness on the battlefield must be wearing thin as rival forces continue to build new and advanced weapons. In addition to all of these, a Stinger missile costs a fortune, as high as $120,000, if not more. Up against kamikaze drones that cost a few hundreds or thousands of dollars, the issue of mighty disproportionate defense-to-attack costs surfaces again. These reasons are why the U.S. Army is keen on the deployment of its new laser-based DEM SHORAD armored vehicles. They solve the setbacks that currently weigh the Stinger down. The laser beams of the DEM SHORAD vehicles can cut through metal, leading to structural failure or more impactful results if the warhead or propulsion fuel is targeted. It is the exact same concept with the UK's DragonFire laser weapon, and the exact same reasons too. Through the DragonFire, the UK can replace its expensive million-dollar defense missiles with laser beams that cost $13 per shot. That's a jaw-dropping cost reduction. These weapons could change the battlefield forever, and they plan to. Here they are. UK DragonFire. DragonFire is the UK's program tasked with exploiting modern technology to build a laser weapon system that uses laser beams to grill targets to destruction. The target could be stationary, mobile, on land, on the seas, in the air, in clear view, or protected by atmospheric conditions. And the result would be the same: on-demand destruction. To build such a weapon, the UK summoned its finest hands, brightest minds, and over $120 million in funding. Well funded, the DragonFire program is led by the UK's top science department, the Defence Science and Technology Laboratory, or DSTL for short. DSTL, working on behalf of the UK Ministry of Defence, partnered with defence industry leaders MBDA, Leonardo, and Kinetic to build the DragonFire laser weapon. After years of constant work in the DragonFire program, the resulting weapon was finally ready to undergo trials. As said earlier, the weapon has been impressive in trials. It became the first ever UK weapon to fire high-power laser beams against aerial targets. The weapon proved its impressive precision and a low cost of fire in the process, to make it truly revolutionary. According to officials, firing the DragonFire weapon for 10 seconds is equivalent in cost to using a regular heater for just an hour. Compared to its predecessors, this is mind-bogglingly affordable for the UK military. And the US wants it too. US DEM SHORAD. The Directed Energy Maneuver Short-Range Air Defense, DEM SHORAD for short, is a 50-kilowatt mobile air defense laser weapon mounted on the Striker vehicle to shoot down drones, mortar, missiles, and manned aircraft such as fighter jets and helicopters. It is the U.S. Army's first ground laser weapon. Capable of taking out targets up to 5 miles away, the weapon is made up of a high-energy laser combined with a beam director, an EOIR target acquisition and tracking system, and a Ku-720 multi-mission radar for 360-degree coverage of an area. For self-sufficiency, the weapon consists of an onboard thermal and power system that dissipates heat, recharges the system's batteries, and fires its laser off the batteries. Once fired, the beam emits from a roof-mounted beam director on the Striker vehicle. Developing the weapon required major corporate names to combine efforts and face off against one another. The development story traces back to 2019 when the Army first awarded a contract to Cord Technologies to serve as the prime contractor for the first set of prototypes. Cord subsequently awarded subcontracts to Northrop Grumman and Raytheon Technologies to compete to supply the laser module. Both teams were supplied with a Striker vehicle, along with a power and thermal management system. Cord and the Army were slated to choose a winner and proceed with the integration of the chosen laser module onto a total of 4 Striker vehicles. However, Northrop experienced problems with the power and thermal management system supplied when integrated with its system, and thus a fire broke out during testing. The problems persisted and Northrop dropped out before the demonstration. The Raytheon team moved on to demonstrate its system, and the Army chose to go forward with those prototypes. The company received a $123 million contract to supply the laser weapon. In September last year, the first 4 prototypes were delivered to the Army, and now, just 7 months later, the system has been deployed. Like the UK military, the US Army isn't delaying any longer than it needs to exploit the benefits that come with these weapon systems. And the benefits are indeed numerous. They include 1. An unlimited magazine. The DEM SHORAD, DragonFire, and similar laser weapons make reloading seem outdated. Once connected to a power source, the laser weapon can, in theory, shoot forever. This comes particularly handy against drones, which have quickly gone from small, fast, passive players to small, incredibly fast, lethal attack aerial vehicles that can attack in swarms. Impressive as projectile air defense systems are, a swarm is always likely to be too much to handle for them. With an unlimited magazine allowing it to constantly fire highly effective shots that can burn up drone components and blind their sensors, a laser weapon solves this problem. 2. Light speed attack. The word laser is an acronym for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation, which in simple terms means that lasers are a form of light energy. Thus, characteristically, they move at the speed of light, 180,000 miles a second. They are the fastest things in the universe. This means no aircraft or missile can outrace certain doom once spotted by the radar's sensors, even with a head start of miles. Whether they're supersonic, hypersonic, or super hypersonic, it doesn't matter. They're going down in a cloud of their own smoke in as little as 4 seconds after catching the attention of the DEM SHORAD or the DragonFire. 3. Intelligence. The DEM SHORAD is almost entirely autonomous. It does most of its work without human intervention. from spotting and tracking targets to taking them out with the precision of a sniper. And in an ever-evolving battlefield combining 3 generations of technology, that level of precision is a need. The DEM SHORAD also runs on artificial intelligence with the ability to dynamically queue up its targets, starting with the ones that pose the most threat. The DragonFire would likely operate in a similar fashion with full autonomy. Up against missiles that fly faster than the speed of sound, human reaction may be far too slow, and machines must take over. Wars are great drivers of innovation. Nations must have new, advanced, and updated systems to maintain their sovereignty and their existence on the global map. The US and UK, although world powers, aren't left out of this requirement. This is why weapons like the DragonFire and the DEM SHORAD exist today. They are the weapons of tomorrow. To support these weapons, give this video a like and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.